If you've ever loved someone so much that you quietly accept disrespect just to keep the peace, then maybe you'll understand my story. My name is Ifunanya Is. I'm 34 years old, married to a man I thought God chose for me. His name is Chinedu. We met in a funny way. I was selling fabrics in ABA main market when he bumped into my table by mistake. His belt tore 2 yards of lace. He apologized with a soft voice and warm smile. All my anger disappeared. 1 year later, I became his wife. At first, life felt like a sweet dream. Peaceful. Promising. Until his mother came to live with us. Her name was Momankem. From the beginning, I respected her. I cooked for her. Served her food before my husband. I always greeted her with 2 hands and bent knees like my mother taught me. I washed her clothes. I became her maid. I was doing everything to make her happy. I wanted to be the perfect daughter-in-law. Even though Chinedu was not rich, I gave her everything I had. Things I wouldn't even do for my own mother. But instead of love, she gave me insult. Slowly, it started. The way she looked at me when I entered the room. Then came the fake compliments. You're fine, but this your stomach be like empty sack. Are you even eating well? Can this stomach carry pikin at all? Still, I endured. I sent food to her in the village every month, beans, dry fish, rice, palm oil, sometimes even fried chicken during festive periods. Nobody told me to do it. I just wanted to be accepted. But sometimes, no matter how sweet your gift is, it will still taste bitter to someone who never liked you. 3 years into our marriage, Chinedu changed. He stopped touching me. During dinner, he avoided my eyes. When I talked, he would just sigh. Our bedroom became like a graveyard. One night, I asked him with tears in my eyes, did I do something wrong? He stood by the window and said, this marriage is choking me. I need space. Space from what? I asked. Is it because we don't have a child? That's part of it, he said. We've been married 3 years. No child. My mates have 2 or 3 already. People are talking. Even Mama is worried. I'm not sure you can even have children. Maybe you're hiding something. That word, hiding, hit me like thunder. What was he saying? I couldn't sleep that night. I kept asking myself, what changed? Who told him something? The next day, I called Momankem. Mama, good morning, Ma. How's your body? I'm managing, my daughter, she coughed. How is my son? He's okay, but things have not been smooth between us. She kept quiet for a moment. Then she said, Aya. Some women are just unlucky. I want my son not to marry a barren woman. But he said love will bring children. Love cannot give pikin. That word again, barren. Mama, I said, try not to cry, have I ever disrespected you? She replied, you are feeding me, Ifunanya, but you are starving my lineage. Only God knows what you're hiding. I dropped the call. Everything I had been giving was going into a basket with holes. I went to the hospital alone. I had done tests before, but maybe something changed. The doctor was kind. After the test, he called me in. Madam Ifunanya, he said, your womb is okay. Your hormones are normal. Your eggs are fine. I smiled, until he added, has your husband done any fertility test? I shook my head. Because from what I see, you should be pregnant by now. It might be time to test both sides. My knees nearly gave out. Chinedu never tested himself. He always assumed I was the problem. And his mother believed it too. Something in me said they already knew. That night, I waited for him. When he came in smelling of strange perfume, I didn't even ask where he was coming from. I just said, Chinedu, let's go for fertility test together. He flared up. So now you're insulting my manhood? No. I just want answers. He grabbed his car keys and left. He didn't return until morning. I sat on the bed and wiped my tears. That was when I realized the worst kind of loneliness is inside your own marriage. Weeks passed. Then one day, Mama Nkem called. Her voice was urgent. Come quickly to the village. Chinedu is doing something dangerous. Come and save him. My heart was pounding as I rushed to the bus park. But what I saw in the village shook me. Chinedu was kneeling in front of a shrine, half naked, with another woman beside him. Mama Nkem was behind them, smiling. I stood at the edge of the crowd, frozen. Mama, I said quietly, what is this? She turned to me calmly. It's good you came. Now you can see with your own eyes. Chinedu didn't look at me. His eyes were glued to the fire as the priest chanted. I looked closely at the woman beside him. It was Edora, a widow from the next village. She once greeted me warmly in our compound. Now she was beside my husband like she owned him. You're still my husband, I said. We've not divorced. What are you doing here? Chinedu finally looked at me with no shame. Ifunanya, he said, I need a child. I'm tired of pretending. This is how you solve it? I asked. Dragging me to witness this evil. Mama Nkem stepped in. My son needs an heir. I told him not to marry you. Now he's correcting the mistake. Mistake? I laughed bitterly. Mama, after all I did for you. She hissed. You fed me, but you starved my bloodline. I want a grandchild before I die. I turned to Chinedu. Why haven't you tested yourself? I did mine. Doctor said I'm fine. He scoffed. They always say that. You just want to blame me. I opened my bag and brought out an envelope. This is your test result, Chinedu. I paid for it. You did a sperm test 3 months ago at the hospital when you thought it was regular blood work. He opened it slowly. I saw the flicker of fear in his eyes. Low sperm count, I said. 0 motility. Mama Nkem grabbed the paper. This is a lie. You forged it. No. It has the hospital seal and doctor's signature. Chinedu tore the envelope. So what? You think this changes anything? Yes, I said. It changes everything. The shrine priest paused. Madam, he said, leave this place. You're not part of this ritual. I laughed. When the gods you're calling come down, may they also expose those who twisted the truth. And I walked away. Each step felt heavier than the last. 2 weeks passed. No call from Chinedu or Mama Nkem. I stayed in my father's house in Oka, heartbroken. Then one day, Edore knocked on the door, crying. Her hands were shaking. Her stomach was flat. I lost the baby, she said. What baby? The one they said I was carrying for Chinedu. It was a lie. Mama Nkem paid me to say I was pregnant. My son was sick. I needed money. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Chinedu has been sick since that shrine day. He can't talk anymore. He just stares and shakes at night. I shivered. I remembered the priest warning, the gods will see who twisted the truth. Mama Nkem fed him lies. Chinedu swallowed them. Now they were choking. I should have felt joy. But I didn't. Only pain. Then my phone rang. It was the hospital. Mrs. Is, the nurse said. You need to come in person. It's about your last test result. I froze. Which result? The one from 3 months ago. There was a mix-up. You may not be as okay as we thought. The line cut. My heart dropped. I stood in my father's compound, staring at my phone. When I arrived at the hospital the next day, the nurse led me into the room. Dr. Edwin sat with a serious face. "Mrs. Is," he began, "there was a mistake. Your test was switched with someone else's. I'm truly sorry." I swallowed hard. "So what's my real result?" He looked me in the eye. "You have fibroids. Big ones. They are blocking fertilization. That's why you haven't conceived." I covered my mouth. The room began to spin. All this time, they said I was fine. And I believed them. I covered my mouth. The room began to spin. All this time, they said I was fine. And I believed them. Dr. Edwin stood up and gently touched my shoulder. "Fibroids are not the end of life. Many women have them. With surgery, you can still have a baby." Tears poured from my eyes. Not because I was scared, but because my truth was now complete. I wasn't perfect. But I also wasn't the devil they painted me to be. I had a condition. A treatable one. But no one ever gave me time. No one waited with me. They all ran. I went home and lay down. My pillow soaked with tears. I kept hearing Mom and Kem's voice, "You are feeding me, but starving my bloodline." But now I knew I was not cursed. I was not barren. I was just human. And I was not alone. 2 months later, I went for surgery. My father and younger sister stood by me. They didn't have much, but they gave me strength. The surgery was successful. When I woke up from the operation, the nurse smiled and said, "You're strong, madam. You'll be fine. One day, you will carry your own baby." I believed her. Meanwhile, word had spread in the village. People were now whispering about Chinedu. About how the shrine had failed him. About how his new wife Edeora ran back to her late husband's family. About how Chinedu started speaking to trees and dancing alone at midnight. They said Mom and Kem went to another prophet in Enugu who told her, "You fought an innocent woman. And now, your hands are full of the smoke of your wickedness." She began to fall sick. Nobody in the village came to see her. She was known as the woman who destroyed her son's life. One day, Chinedu showed up at my gate in Oka. Thin. Pale. Hair uncombed. He knelt down. "Ifyonanya, please." "I'm sorry," he cried. I was weak. I let Mama control everything. I destroyed our home. I looked at him. The same man who once blamed me. The same man who left me alone in our marriage. I didn't feel hate. But I didn't feel love either. I helped him up. Gave him a bottle of water. Told him to sit on the plastic chair outside. "I forgave you long ago, Chinedu," I said. But forgiveness doesn't mean returning to where I was broken. He nodded slowly, tears in his eyes. "I understand," he whispered. "I just needed to say sorry before I go mad completely." That was the last time I saw him. Months passed. I focused on healing. I went back to my small fabric business. This time in a bigger shop. I joined a support group for women with fibroids. We shared stories. We cried. We prayed. Then one day, I met him, Obiora. A widower. Quiet. Humble. He came to buy materials for his late wife's burial anniversary. He asked for blue and white ankara. Our talk started with business. Then it turned to laughter. Then friendship. 1 year later, Obiora married me in a small church ceremony. No crowd. Just love. He didn't care about my surgery. He just said, "You're more than a womb. You're my peace." 2 years after that, God surprised us. I felt strange one morning. Went to the hospital. The nurse smiled after the scan. "Madam Ifyonanya," she said, "you're 6 weeks pregnant." I screamed. Now, as I hold my baby girl in my arms, I remember everything. The pain. The shame. The betrayal. The loneliness. But I also remember the healing. The second chance. The peace. I named her Kizoram, God answered me. And every day, I kiss her forehead and whisper, you came when nobody expected you. But I always believed you would.